Hi, how are you? Today, today's video is about how to calculate the confidence interval through the function. So we are gonna create the function which calculates for us the confidence interval and gives us the upper bound and the lower bound for the dataset. Well, we need to apply 4 steps in order to get the final function working for us. The first is to calculate the mean. The second is calculate the standard error and of the mean, not of the mean, just the standard error. The third one is to calculate actually t-score, and we're gonna need the probability and the degree of the freedom. And the last step is to calculate the margin of error and actual construct the confidence interval. Well, construct the confidence interval could go to the last part actually. It's gonna be like fifths. Alright, here we go. Just let me import the dataset. This is our dataset. I'll show you what's inside and which variables do we have on the dataset. We have state of the Germany, the counties and age group that we are not interested in. The what we are interested in is the cases, and we'll take the cases as a variable with which we would love to construct our standard confidence interval. Here's a single step, single passages of how you could get to this part. I'll also share on GitHub the uh, the example code so you can replicate it if you wish. And well, basically our function starts here, right? What we do first, we're calculating the mean for x value, which we have calculated here. Okay, it's gonna be 5.17, nice, 18. And then we're gonna calculate the standard error. In order to calculate the standard error, we need to know the standard deviation and the square root of our total observation numbers. Okay, and so we are calculating standard deviation. We're calculating the length of our observations, the length. Okay, and finally we get our standard error, which is 0.007. And the next is t statistics. Here we will need some the alpha, our alpha, and also the degrees of freedom. Usually when you calculate the t statistics, you take total observations minus 1. All right, and t-score, our t-score is gonna be calculated through this function. And in order to see what does this function actually do, you can just write a question mark and the t distribution t distribution qt, and use it. Density distribution function, quantile function, and the random generation for the t distribution with def data frame degrees of freedom. This is the usage and what you need to do and so on. There's also the actually the formula. However, we'll not see this time. Maybe next time you can check it out on your own. This is our t-score, and the margin of error is the multiplication of the t-score with the standard error. This is our margin of the error. our lower bound and our upper bound together. This is our lower bound and upper bound. It's how since our mean is 5.17, these are actually the how much deviates from mean, our lower and our margin errors. Well, whenever we would love to construct our function, we just write the function name and function. By the way, if you see this sign, it's the same. It means the assign. Well, this is gonna be our variable, and this is our alpha. We'll see later on. This function does the same thing that we have done later on, before, and instead of taking the variables, it takes the variable which we'll give later on, which will like pass through the function in our function for calculations. And finally, we just write the confidence, which we have defined before the conf. It could be anything you want, like the x, like the y. Let's call it y. Right? Just write the y. We are passing through the y function our cases, which is inside the dphi of COVID, like the COVID data frame. And our alpha is going to be 0.05. Here's it. Have a nice day. Bye.